Find the slope of a line through the pair of points 17, negative 13, and 17, 8. Now, I know what's going to happen, but let's pretend we don't. We are to find the slope of 2 points, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my slope formula. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Then we label our points x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. And if you're wondering, why did you call these x sub 1, y sub 1? Well, this is an xy, and since this is my first point, I gave them the 1s. This is an xy, and since this is my second point, I gave those the 2s. And if you're wondering, like, well, couldn't we flip these? Sure we could, and nothing would change. Just make sure you have it in xy, and just make sure you line the 1s with the 1s and the 2s with the 2s. But since I have that, I'm going to substitute these values in using the things that I labeled. So y sub 2 is going to become parentheses 8, close parentheses. Here's the minus sign. Y sub 1 is going to be parentheses negative 13, close parentheses, all over. X sub 2 is going to be parentheses 17, close parentheses. Drop the minus. X sub 1 is going to be parentheses 17 again, close parentheses. Now, like I said, I know what's going to happen. Let's clean up the numerator, the denominator. If there's nothing in front of a parentheses, you don't need the parentheses anymore. This is a double negative. Minus a negative is the same thing as plus a positive, so plus 13. Since there's nothing in front of parentheses 17, I don't need the parentheses. Minus 17 looks like minus 17. Now, 8 plus 13 in the numerator is going to be 21. 9 plus 10. 17 minus 17 is going to be 0. Now, this is a problem. You're not allowed to divide by 0 at all. And when that's the case, you get undefined. So my slope here is an undefined slope. Now again, I said I knew this would happen. Good job drawing the box by me. I said I knew this would happen because what I noticed is that right away, the x's are the same. And when the x's are the same, you are going to draw 2 points that give you an up and down line. So a shortcut is if you notice this right away, that the x's are the same and you're trying to find the slope, the answer is going to be undefined. Now, a flip-flop of that is what if the y's are the same? Like, what if I gave you something like 17, 2, and 8, 2? Well, you could apply the same rules, but flip it around. If the y values are the same, then what you would graph would be something that looks like this, which is a 0 slope. So this is a special problem where when the x values are the same, I technically don't have to show any work, and I know immediately that the slope is going to be undefined. If I gave you a problem where the y values are exactly the same, I don't have to show any work, and I can stop right there and say that the slope is 0, because I would get something like 0 over a random number, which just calculates out to 0 anyway. Okay? So that's a fun little shortcut that you can memorize if it helps.